Hey y'all, and welcome to my winter book haul. I have put myself on a book buying pause for the first quarter of 2026. So I figured with the accumulation of books I have here and me not buying any books and having not done a haul for I think 5 or 6 months at this point, why don't I just show you what I've gotten recently? There have been some end of year sales, beginning of the year sales, and I did acquire some books. So I thought it would just be fun to haul them. I do have some notes about prices. There was a particularly good Eagle Eye sale that I may have gone a little ham at. So I wanted to give some prices for that because I think it's something good if you're in the area, maybe to keep in mind for next year when they do their inventory sale again. Other than that, I don't have a ton of structure for this video. I just really would like to show these books so they can go into the greater TBR ecosystem and I can just move along. Everything kind of falls into a category of either a specific shopping day or a pre-order, except for this little outlier. This is Dubliners by James Joyce. This is a classic collection of tales, all set in Joyce's home of Dublin, Ireland. I don't know a lot about this book, but I do think at the time this pushed a lot of limits for Irish writing or the way things had been done before. He kind of like transcended what had been the norm. At least for like this type of literature in this part of the world. So I just heard a lot of good things about it. And this is the Wordsworth Classics edition. It was on a list. I think I randomly ordered it around Christmas time from Amazon. So that is that one. Next are some pre-orders. And I think I've spoken about most, if not all of these in kind of a new releases video very recently. First was 9 Goblins by T. Kingfisher. This is about Goblin Sergeant Neselka, who is transported into the middle of enemy territory during the Goblin Wars by this, I keep wanting to call him a magician. He's a warlock, by this warlock who it's kind of ends up being by accident. But anyway, they are transported, her and a small band of her goblin warriors are transported deep behind enemy lines, and she has to keep the crew together and make sure they get out safely. There are some really cute characters in this. I enjoyed it very much and would definitely recommend. I recommend any T. Kingfisher. Very cute, very, very small, and a good time. I spoke about this one as well in my recent 2026 video. This is How to Lose a Goblin in 10 Days. You have Halfling, Pansy, and Goblin. Is he a goblin too? Everybody's a goblin. Ren is a goblin, and they both seem to be under the impression that they have inherited this same property. So the plan is to outlast each other to see who gets the property proper. And I think there's like an outside force that's going to come in and force them to join together to solve this issue. And I think probably that's going to turn into a romance. This is absolutely the cutest cover I think I've seen in a very long time. Very cottagecore, very sweet, kind of Lord of the Rings vibes with that little round door. I cannot wait to read this. This might be my oldest pre-order in this haul. Actually, it is In Your Dreams. This is the final book in the When in Rome series by Sarah Adams. And this follows youngest sister, Maddie. Maddie goes off to culinary school in New York, but I think her male main character is going to be James, who we actually know. And he is from Rome, Kentucky. He's like the boy who stayed behind to take care of the family business type vibes, and she's the girl who's gone off to pursue her dreams. Ooh, I don't know. I think it's going to be really good. I have enjoyed every book in that series, book 2 being my very favorite, but I have high hopes for this. I think my mom already read it and she said she really liked it. One of the first sales we did this year was the Barnes & Noble. I think it was between Christmas and New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, New Year's weekend kind of, and they had 25% off of everything in the store and then 50% off hardbacks in store and online. I think that's what it was. The 50% off hardbacks might still be going. So like if you're allowed to bookshop, unlike me, go for it. But I did pick up these two. I enjoyed the Christmas with Ellen Montgomery that I had so much. And then I saw these two. It is Christmas with Charles Dickens. And if you recall, I actually read A Christmas Carol this year and I freaking loved it and I fell in love with Dickens' writing. So I got really excited when I saw this, and buy one, get one half off. And then there was Christmas with Hans Christian Andersen. So I thought, like, what more perfect little duo, and I'm already set up for next year. Another thing I picked up on that Barnes & Noble trip was I'll Be Home for Christmas by Jenny Bayliss. I am attempting to read through her backlist. However, it's kind of a Christmas thing, and I will save this also for next year, but how cute is it? And I think this is like a former friends to lovers. She kind of comes back home and works at the family Christmas cracker business. I think that's right. I think I might be right on with that one. He, again, I think is maybe like a journalist. I don't know. But yeah, former friends to current friends to maybe super friendly. I don't know. I'll be so excited to have this Christmas. I think something that I acquired between the former hauls and this one was the House Witch. So I didn't show that, but while I was at Barnes & Noble and while everything was on sale, I picked up book 2. Have I read book 1? The answer is no. You already know. The answer is no, I have not read it, but I'm convinced I'm going to love it. So I went ahead and picked up book 2. These are kind of hard to find in my local area. There's usually like one copy on the shelf, and because she's such a big girl, like, let's compare. She's big on the shelf, okay? I feel like every time I see a copy of one of these books, there's like I said, one, maybe of like book 3 or book 1 or book, whatever. There's just like one copy and it is crunched up. And I don't mind a used book that's been loved, but if I'm paying full price, she needs to be pristine. So I saw it, I took my opportunity, and I grabbed it. And then, like I mentioned, there was the online sale, 50% off hardbacks. So I did pick up book 2 in the Dallergut Dream Department Store. This is the Dallergut Dream Making District. This is, I think, just going to be about the people who make the dreams, which we did see in book 1. And this came out, I think this came out in 2025, like recently. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I picked this up half off. These hardbacks, I think, is a great deal. An unexpected find in that sale was Acquired Taste by McLeod Chapman. I've never heard of this book. I've never heard of this author. It is a collection of stories, horror stories. Sounds really creepy. I like that there's this, they say something about salamanders in the blurb, but this looks like an axolotl to me. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, it just sounded good, and I do like how that looks. Very creepy. Recently, Mom and I had one of our adventure days. I don't know if that vlog is going to be out before or after you see this, but just know we had a good time. We went to Eagle Eye in Decatur, which I've been to before. I've shown you in this. I've shown a vlog, a haul, I think an author event there. I love that place. I love it. It is on the opposite side of town from us, the other side of Atlanta, but any opportunity I can get to go there, I would go. They have a mix of new and used books. Unlike any new and used book store I've ever been to, the quality of the used books is always on point, and they have some of the freshest contemporary titles in there. It always blows me away what I can find. Add on to that, the prices are great for the used books. But while we were in there, it was part of their 12 days of Christmas, which I think it might be the 12 days. It was like the days after Christmas through, I think it was January 6th. And every day they gave a percentage off new inventory and used inventory. And every day, as they got closer to January the 6th, that percentage off increased. The day we were there, so funny, the worker was like, you're kind of here in the sweet spot where the discount is really good, but there's still a lot of stock. So we had 34% off new books, any new book, and 44% off used books. We got some deals, and I wanted to tell you about them because, like I said, if you're in the area, you gotta go next year. You gotta check this out. This is one of the best book sales, probably the best book sale I've ever seen in my life. First up, and actually I think the last thing I picked up while we were in there, is Suitor Armor. This is volume 1 of a romantasy graphic novel. It looks so cute to me. Let me just show you these little faces. And it is by Purpah. I think I'm saying that right. I don't know. It looked too cute. I flipped through it. It looks like maybe there was some touch her and die type violence. I don't know, but it looks really cute. And it was very much an impulse as the last thing I noticed. It retails for $17.95, and with the discount, I think it was around $12 or just under. And the reason I even found that is because I saw Saga in the graphic novels. I have read volumes 1 through 6. So I went ahead and grabbed 7, 8, and 9 as they were all used, all on sale. $4.99 is the used price. I actually paid, one moment, less than $3 a piece for these with the sale. And they're in fantastic shape, in my opinion. These retail for $14.95 a piece new. So getting them used for $4.99, already a great deal. Getting them for under $3 a piece with that sale, incredible. These are like sci-fi space graphic novels about a family just trying to make their way in the universe. I remember really liking them. I've not read them in a while, so I'll probably go back and read the first 6 before I pick up these. A very exciting purchase for me was Hot Wax by ML Rio. This is actually a signed copy as well. Eagle Eye do that so well. They have so many author events. They always have a signed section, and it's always like some great authors. So there she is. I famously really liked Graveyard Shift, and the reviews on it kind of baffled me. My flabbers were gasted. I couldn't believe so many people were mad about how it ended. So I've never read a full-length novel by this author, but I loved her short story, and I'm really excited for this. This hardback retails for $29. I got it for $19. Fallon Ballard is an author I've seen around a lot, and last year I read Change of Heart by her, which is kind of a Hallmark movie-inspired rom-com novel, and I really enjoyed it. So I decided to pick up another one of her books while I was in Eagle Eye, and this is Lease on Love. Some weird twist of fate brings Sadie and Jack, I believe is his name, together in an apartment. I think maybe they're like going to be roommates and then fall in love. I don't know. It just sounded interesting. They had a lot of her books there and a lot of really great prices. This is just the one that stood out to me the most. And at this point, I already had like many, many books. So I was trying to rein it in. I think my mom got a few of hers as well. This retails for $16 and it is a new copy. And I paid about, I think it was less than $11. Another new one, and one that I have been resisting for so long, is The Princess Trap by Talia Hibbert. This is book 1 in a series. I think there are 3 books, kind of like her other series. And I don't know a lot about this one. There's a princess. I don't care. It's Talia. The cover, this is the indie print. It is so stinking cute. I'm going to be insufferable when I start reading her books again. She's just one of my favorite authors. This is also a new copy, not used. Because it's indie, there's no retail price on it. I don't remember what the original price was, but I paid less than $10. A book that has been haunting me, and I think is kind of book 2, Problematic Summer Romance. People say it's book 2 to Not in Love, which I also have unread. But I just could not escape this book, okay? And everybody was talking about it last year, so I figured it was my turn to read it. And yeah, this one was used. She's in a little bit of rougher shape than some of the other ones, but this was used, $11.99. Yeah, $11.99. I got it for less than $7. Next is a double feature, both used. These are both by Sarah Adams. I have The Match. I have The Temporary Roomie. Jackie did me dirty, and she said that these were part of a series. They are part of series. They're part of different series. I thought I was buying 2 books in the same series. I was not. The Match, in great condition, $6.99 used, and The Temporary Roomie, $7.99 used. I got these less than $5, less than $4. So I am excited to have them. I do like Sarah Adams, but I'm a little sad that they're not the same series. Scot and Ballard is one that I had seen there before. I had actually sent a picture of it to my mom saying, isn't this the cutest thing you've ever seen? And they had used copies. We each got one. They are again in amazing shape. The used price was $11.99, so I paid just under $7 for this. I saw this book everywhere this fall, If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. I saw it everywhere. I could not avoid it. I did avoid it. I held back, but everyone kept saying it was like Friends. It was like 90s rom-com, like, oh, the cutest vibes. It has a very sweet cover. And I think he is a single dad. I think. They had several copies. This was $12.99 used. So I paid right around $7 for this. Like, it doesn't get much better than that. If you can hold out and not buy things as soon as they come out, like some people, Eagle Eye has some of the best deals around, especially during this sale, but even the used prices are really unmatched when it comes to the quality and newness of these books. Like, these are very recently released books. That's everything I got there. I think there were 12 titles total, 4 graphic novels, 8 novels. On that little adventure, we also stopped at Virginia Highland Books, which is a place I've been wanting to stop for a while. I know I've been in there before, but it had been a long time and I couldn't really remember it. Blah, blah, blah. I bought a book. I got some bookmarks. Their bookmarks are very cute, but I have to say the vibe was not necessarily my favorite. It didn't really do a whole lot for me. They did have some cool local stuff, some being these postcards by local artists. So there's Love from Georgia, Aren't You Precious? I think these are so cute. Someone in Atlanta Loves You. A Little Love from Atlanta. I think this one's really pretty. And then this nice little Georgia one with the magnolias on it. And Back to the Beginning. We have friends that live in England, and I just think these would be so cute to send to their girls. It's like a little hello. I have international stamps. They should work on postcards. And these are just really like specific to where we live and a cute thing to send. I did also pick up a book in there called Happy People Don't Live Here by Amber Sparks. It is a hardback. It's very, very cool looking. I thought it was quite pretty and it stood out to me. So many books in there stood out to me. I really had to hold myself back and not buy everything that I wanted because we had just been in Eagle Eye and you saw that damage. So I thought one book was pretty good. I'm going to read you the little inside blurb. This is, I think, a horror, but it's described as like a funny gothic horror. So it's about a mom and her daughter. It says, in this darkly funny gothic tale, a reclusive mother and her saturnine daughter move into a haunted building brimming with eccentrics and secrets. It seems like they live in these apartments that were a former sanatorium. And they're like super haunted and such, etc. Could it be a more perfect book? I really hope it lives up. And you know I'll tell you as soon as I read it. Our final stop that day and the final books from this haul were purchased at Postman. I love Postman. Mom had never been to Postman. She did not like it. She was not impressed. I love the giant tables of like not random books, but just like hundreds of books. I love it. It feeds something inside of my brain and quite possibly my soul. She found it to be not great. The shelves also in there, everything's mixed together. It's alphabetical by author, but there are no like fiction, sci-fi, fantasy. It's all mixed together. And I think that was a little difficult for her. It should come as no surprise that I found a couple of things that I couldn't say no to. First up is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. This is a sci-fi. I really like this author. I read Monk and Robot by her last year and I loved it. I loved it so much. This is a sci-fi set in space on a spaceship. It's giving me like Firefly kind of vibes, found family. Rosemary is a recent member to the crew of the Wayfarer, I think is the name of the ship. And she had nothing before. So this gives her like a place to live. She gets to see the galaxy. And then everybody on this ship is worlds, okay, no pun intended, worlds away from anything she's really known before. So I think it's going to be adventurous, found family, coming of age, very much in the Becky Chambers sphere that I know. It sounds good. It is a little chunkier than Monk and Robot for sure. But like I said, that fire is reignited in me to read this really soon. My final book is Pay the Piper. This is by George A. Romero and I think it's Daniel Kraus. I didn't know anything about George Romero, but I did find out that this was published posthumously. Daniel Kraus, I believe, found the half-finished manuscript for the book Pay the Piper, and he worked with Romero's estate to bring it to fruition. I have a hard time with stuff like that, usually. This just sounds too good. It's about like a haunted Louisiana bayou where there's like legend of the Piper, like the Pied Piper who takes away children. Anyway, Renee has always heard stories about the Piper, but now children are starting to disappear and she's starting to wonder if there is some truth to this legend. It just sounded really good, really creepy, really atmospheric. I love the cover. Very cool, swampy vibes. I know I say all the time, I love blank. I love a lot of things. Don't hate me for being a lover of things. I love a swamp. I love a swamp. Maybe it's the South in me, I don't know, but I love a good swamp, bayou, alligator, moss. Ooh, I love moss. One more moment for this cover. It is beautiful. One more moment for the swamp, for the bayou. I think this is going to be really good and creepy. I cannot wait. All right, y'all, that is it. That is my little haul for now. Not little, but you know what I mean. And with my book buying pause in place, probably the last haul for several months. I can't see myself filming another haul until June, maybe July. If you've read any of these books, please let me know if you liked them. Even if you didn't like them, just let me know below. I really like hearing from people that have similar taste in books to me and see what they thought of the books. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.